Hello. In this lecture, we are going to talk about HTML. It stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the cornerstone of web applications or websites. Basically, before going all active on the websites, what we had is that you had some HTML files on your web server, and the user could browse your web server with his browser, and it requested an HTML file. The browser downloaded that and tried to render the HTML code in the browser. This was basically for static websites, so for your personal website or your company site where you had information about the company, or for your university lectures. But the point is that these were all static. So there were static files on the server containing HTML code, and the browser just downloaded them and rendered it in the browser. HTML is basically only a way to tell the browser how to show this information. So let's start writing HTML code, and then you will see yourself how it really works. So let's go to Kali, and first open a terminal. Okay, so first let's just make a folder for our exercises. This is gonna be the static HTML, and let's go in this folder, and here we create a file called who is your daddy.html. Now let's open the file. You can use your favorite editor. I'm gonna use Vim or VI, but if you don't have a favorite editor yet, then I suggest you use Gedit. It has a nice user interface. But if you like challenges, then you can start experimenting with VI. There is this Vim tutor. It's a tutorial program for VI. But if you don't like challenges, then use whatever else editor you want. So I will just open the whoisyourdaddy.html. As you can see, it's an empty file, although we call it HTML, but it's really just a text file. And now I will just write, I am your father, and we save it and exit. Now we want to load this file in the browser. We could just open it from locally, but we can also start a simple web server. Python has a really simple web server which basically shares the files which are in the folder where you're standing. It's called simple HTTP server. As you can see, that it's running on all interfaces on port 8000. So we can say localhost port 8000, and we get the directory listing from the web server, and there is this whoisyourdaddy.html. We click on that. As you can see, it's a simple text file which contains I am your father. Now if we go back here, I will actually open a new editor or terminal tab. But also there is yet nothing HTML specific in this file, so it's just simple text. And that's why in the browser there's no formatting to it at all. It just prints the text. So let's add a few things. First, let's try to emphasize the word father by making it bold. In HTML, we work with tags. Tags are strings between the greater than and lower than signs. So this is the B tag because it's for bold, and each tag has to have a starting tag and a closing tag, which is always slash and then the tag name. Now we save it again and reload it in the browser. And as you can see, now the father is bold. So from this point on, it's not only simple plain text, it's already HTML because we are using an HTML tag, which is then translated by the browser, and it's rendered as bold text. Now this is great, we are on the right track. However, if we want to be really compliant and want to follow the rules of HTML, then we should add some default text which has to be in each HTML page. So first there has to be an HTML tag at starting stating that this is an HTML file. And at the end it has to have the corresponding closing tag. And then we need to have a head and also the closing head. And our text has to be in the body. In the header, there are usually meta informations or scripts or similar to that. The main content of the page is always in the body. Now we are more or less conform. If we load it again in the browser, you can see it doesn't make any difference. We can say Ctrl U to load the source code of this page. We can also add some other things like, okay, everybody know who we are talking about, so we can say, I'm your father, Luke.
I am your father.
And then we will add the options what Luke have in this situation. So first we add br/. We can use this if the tag is empty. So if we would say like br and then closing br without any content, then we can use this br and the slash after that. BR stands for break line. So with that, we are basically adding some empty lines. Then we are going to do a list, an ordered list. And in between the list elements. And these are the options what Luke has. First is join the dark side. And then his other option is die horrible death. All right. Let's try to reload it in the browser. Yes, you can see that we added Luke, and then there is the two spaces, and after that, join the dark side or die horrible death. I wonder what anybody would choose. So this is the basics of HTML. There are lots of other tags, like EMG for including images, or the A for making links, etc. So there are lots of other HTML tags. Tags can also have attributes. We will see all that in the future when we try to exploit various vulnerabilities. We'll look more into HTML, but this is the basics. So just to summarize it, HTML is a markup language to tell the browser how to render the content what you want to show to the user, and it's mostly static unless you're using JavaScript, and it comes from the early ages of websites, but of course it's still in use very actively, just combined with other technologies. All right, that's all for now. Experiment a little bit more with HTML. You can try everything in your small Python browser. And when you're finished, then we'll see each other in the next lecture. Bye.
Come with me. It is the only way.